lastly, I would like to again invite Mr. Olatunji Alonge.
Yeah, it's a good privilege to come again. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to appreciate everybody. And I would say I was on it appreciating those people who were unable to stay here. We are here on your behalf. I want to appreciate everybody. GCPIT, I want to appreciate you. Santosh, thank you so much. Apana, thank you so much. I remember vividly, the time I had with you, it was really interesting. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody. Yeah, I just came back from the burial of my grandmother, who was my best friend while she was there. She lived 103 years, and I always spent time with her. She's practically the origin of wisdom for me. When we talk about meeting people, I spent so much time with her, and it was a pleasure to receive this award, while we're doing the final right for her. And I want to say a very big thank you for this privilege. And to every of my family members, I want to say thank you for your contribution to whatever it is that we are just starting. Network, yeah, Annapurna, I really appreciate you. I like your use of words, I like words, and I use them like they are born with me. Entrepreneurship, enter into the ship, and leadership with friendship. And I want us to go with this, and that's going to be the beauty of why we are here on this platform. Network is building the net that works. If we do not pay attention to the strengths of the net, if we do not pay attention to the size of the net, we do not pay attention to the sense of the net, you will not go with a strong net to where you are to catch big fishes. You will not go with a sensible net to where you are to get sensible fishes. And then sometimes when you want to get crayfish, you go with a different kind of net from the one we want to get shark. And it's an opportunity for us that we are here today. We've got a very big net. We've got a very strong net. We've got a very sensible net. And then it's for us to make it work, because there's none of us that is better than all of us. It's a privilege that we are here today on this platform, but we become better privileged when we work together to be able to achieve real essence of what leadership is all about. Leadership is, it's not title. Leadership is not award. It's a motivation to do more. It's a motivation to be able to, show people the way, and you know what, make them to be able to lead the way even in your absence. And I see this as so much motivation for all of us globally. You may see the color of my skin. I am color blinded, and that's why when I see people, I see people. I don't see color. So it's a big privilege for me to be here on this platform today, and I want to appreciate everybody who has done, those tiny things. The thing is this: people are watching. That's my watchword. People are watching. So because you have this notion that people are watching, keep doing what people can see. What people can see. Do and leave the talks. Leave all of it. Let them make the rumors. Let them make whatever they want to do. You do the work, and you see a lot of things are going to take shape. Yeah, right now we need more leaders that are emotionally intelligent. I have the thumb, stands for your self-awareness. Your forefinger stands for your self-management, self-motivation, empathy, and social skill. When you have that, don't forget. That's what you need to be able to hold life. If you don't have that hand, forget it. You're not going to hold life, no matter how good you think you are as a leader. Much more now. COVID came to give us a reset and tell us how much we need emotional intelligence as leaders in this age. Yeah, it's not for you to flaunt the titles. It's not for you to flaunt the award. It's a privilege and a motivation to do more. I want to appreciate everybody doing those great works, and for all that got nominated, for all that wish that, yeah, they would have been nominated. I still ask myself, who nominated me? But you know what? When you do good works, your works will speak for you. Please keep doing those works and enjoy the best that life has to offer. Apana, thank you so much. I can't forget that time. And Santos, his gentle DMs are so loud and powerful. They come to you, and every time you get them, Dr. Nkechi was the first person that celebrated and say, "Hey, I celebrate you." And I saw it, I was like, "Hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, sir. I appreciate every bit me to do that. Mishma, you are doing a great work. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be on this platform. And the beauty of this platform is that we build nets that work. Let's network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alonge, and sorry for the loss, but I'm sure your gran is smiling down upon you right now as you receive this award. So congratulations to you again. So that's all.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are joining us from. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, or GCPIT, is proud to welcome you to the special interview series in connection with the Global Emerging Leaders Awards 2022. I'm Aparna Kumar, the Global Co-Chairperson of GCPIT and your host for the show. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade is an organization based in India, South Africa, US, UK, and UAE, with board and council member representation across the world. We at GCPIT believe in fostering leadership across different levels. Recently, we have been reflecting on the significance of perspective in our role as leaders. When we advance from being an individual contributor to a leader, our perspective starts changing. We gain access to new information, have conversations with new people, and think about things in ways we didn't have to before. These changes, all learnings, have immense power, and we believe that this interview series will help us and many aspiring future leaders to gain new perspectives, especially global perspectives from these emerging leaders. Today, we have with us such a leader to tell us about his perspectives on leadership while leading his venture. We have with us Mr. Olatunji B. Alonge, who is a growth activator, business growth hacker, author, keynote speaker, and a startup founder. His speaking engagements are on personal development, business development, and nation building. Congratulations, Mr. Alonge, for being nominated for the Emerging Leaders Awards. We are proud to have you with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. And before we begin talking about leadership, I would like to hear from you. How did all this begin? What is your background and what are you currently doing?
Yeah, very interesting to be here. I want to appreciate you so much for putting such a wonderful initiative together in a time like this. At a point, 2020 came, and that was COVID year for the world. Everybody became very drawn to the fact that we need leaders to be able to get out of crisis. We have all had personal crisis, we have had communal crisis, and people can run away from their crisis into places there are no crisis. But when it came on all of us, nowhere to run to, so we got to do something. So everybody became very, careful about what it is about leadership. And I would say, truthfully, that if not for leadership, the world would not have been where we are today from that great heat on the world. For me personally, I've always seen that getting things done is, it's like a personal thing for me. And growing up, I had opportunity to have mentors. I have so many mentors now who saw that potential in me and groomed me to become who I am today. And one thing that makes me different from a lot of people who I grew up together with is that gut feeling to be able to test whatever I've learned. I don't wait until I compound so much. Hey, when I get one, I'm all out there. I want to test it. I want to see how it works, get in my hand, get the experience. And I will come back and tell you, hey, I didn't do well, but I think I know how to do it better this time. And that really helped me so much to be able to relate with people from their different backgrounds and get a lot of things done. I studied mechanical engineering, and then I've come to realize that I think the people that are taking the world by storm today, even in the space of leadership, have got some engineering in them because we've gone to understand how to knot, and how to untie or how to do all of the boats and engineering of human beings. So when we come out there, we know that, hey, you know what? I know why this engine is sounding like this. I know why you are behaving like this, what's up with you? And we're able to fix things. And for me, it has always been very interesting. While I was, in the undergraduate days, I spent so much of my time in the library reading those big, big books in the reference room. And I started taking up leadership opportunities. I had a lot of opportunities. I had to turn down a lot because it was quite overwhelming. Everybody wants somebody that is brave. Everybody wants somebody that is able to stand and say, hey, you know what, come and do this for us. And when you've got that potential, you see people coming around and wanting you to represent them. But it's wisdom that you understand your limits. You know how much you can go, you know how much you can take per time. So I had to turn down a lot of them. And yeah, today I'm happy that I never, at any point in time, shy away from duty of leadership, And I found that good point for me where I am able to help people realize their potential, help people come to the limelight of that true self of themselves and get great things done. Leadership is just it. All other skills are needed. But for us to be able to move forward with all other skills, you need leadership.
Great to hear that. And that's an amazing attitude you have. I can see the mentorship and your experience and reading working. But what exactly are you doing currently?
Yes, I'm the founder of Growth Hive Consulting. I've been working around with, I've confounded quite a lot of startup, being at the background for quite a lot of businesses and all of it like that. But, I started Growth Hive Consulting to be that one go-to place for personal and business growth activation. Okay, you feel like, okay, you want to get me somewhere, go to Growth Hive Consulting, because I've lived that kind of life that I make myself really available, because I know that when I'm gone from here, what will be left is how available I've made myself to be, for people. So that for me made me really very available. But if you want to meet me, come to Growth Hive Consulting. That's where we do the job of growth. Growth is just the mindset. As long as growth is involved, everything is possible. So for personal and for business, and I see how the two comes together for nation building. So I am technically a nation builder, because when I help people to realize themselves and I help them to build their businesses, they are building nations and the world.
That's amazing what you're doing. And if you had to pick 4 or 5 words or short phrases to describe how a successful leader in a global environment operates or behaves, what would they be?
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. And when I got that on, the question, I was like, oh, interesting. I think one of those things I said there is this: when you, as a leader, can go to sleep and allow those that you are leading to steer the wheel, and you are so sure that they will arrive safely, then you have done a good job. Until you find somebody who can undo the wheel and take this ship, leadership, right? And take this ship to its destination without you interfering, then you have done a good job. But if you always have to be on the line, you always have to, keep checking. Hey, are you doing it well? Hey, what's up with you? Are you fine? Oh, you have not done a good job. So leadership is not about, standing in front of people. There's lead, there's leadership, there's lead. LID is not putting the lead on people. It's not limiting people from, realizing their unlimited potentials. Leadership is about opening the lead for people to be able to realize their true potential. I say it anywhere, anytime when things go wrong, leadership is wrong. So leadership is just the only solution to any problem anywhere.
Wow, it's interesting to know that at a very young age, you have got a lot of experience about leadership. At least you have learned and read, and I'm sure your mentors will be really proud of you. And my next question would be, how would you describe the differences in the organizational culture between a global environment and a more local or regional environment?
Interesting again. I dropped 3A there. That's adapt, adopt, and adapt. There are differences. Every time you find yourself in a place, even in your own room, sometimes your room becomes different to you. You don't understand it. How much more when you find yourself in a global community? How much more when you have to interface with a lot of people around the world? So I've always used those 3 A's, the adopt, the adapt, and the adept. You have to continually, no matter what it is, get yourself prepared. And that's, working on your level of adeptness. How much do you know? Keep knowing as much as possible about people. Keep knowing as much as possible about geography. Keep knowing as much as possible, about how people relate. It will come to a time that you would enjoy the benefit of your knowledge. That's your adeptness. While others are trying to, find their way, they are struggling. Hey, I don't like people from India. You are finding it interesting because you have known about them. You have, studied them. You have interacted with them. Hey, at some point, oh, I like this guy. Hey, I like that lady. You have taken your time to understand these people. That's adeptness. You do that every time you are ready for the big deal. And sometimes you just have to behave as if you know nothing. Swallow it, adopt it. We all have level of I call it a boiling point or melting point. At some level, you can contain some things. At some other level, you can't contain anymore. But at least you should be able to adopt some things. It's not, perspective. It is that somebody is able to see something from another point of view that is not your point of view. Because it's not your point of view does not mean it is incorrect. So sometimes when it comes, just adopt it. Okay, I'm good. Not that you don't have your point, not that you don't have your say, but you just take it. It's like that. And at other points, you adapt it. Now, adapting it is that, okay, you take it in, but you see how best you can apply it so that it can be for the good of both parties. So when we come to global communities, global organizations, these differences are always going to be there. But it's very smart that you know when to allow your adeptness, all that you have learned, your attitude to come to play, all your aptitude to come to play. And at some point you need to understand that, okay, you know what, I need to be able to forbear. Emotional intelligence, quite important. We may have differences in geography, we may have differences in place, choices, and all of it like that, but we all have emotions. We all have emotions. So to relate with people of different color, different place, different taste, me.
We lost you for a moment. You were talking about different races, different color. From there, we missed you.
Okay, I was even asking if you are there with me. Okay, yeah. Emotion is that global touch that everybody has. Every human has emotion, and that's why when you are emotionally intelligent, you're able to assess the good of people. Everybody can be whatever they want to be, but your emotional intelligence in bordering along the line of your adeptness, your adaptability, and adoptness is going to do a lot when it comes to global, community differences. And for me now, I think we have a global village called world. There is no longer, limitation of geography or borders. Yeah, that's the truth. And that's why we are here today. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So how is your company's purpose evolving?
Yeah, paying attention, what makes purpose to be very, very, or like call it now, purposeful or fulfilling, yeah, is when you pay attention to the people you are addressing their need. Never come from, the brilliance of your idea, never come from the brilliance of what you feel like. Sometimes we get so much attached to those things we have come up with, and we lose the essence of the need of the people we are attending to. So paying real attention to people, to businesses, and checking their responses to growth has been, the parameter, the pivot, that thing that has actually directed our path towards purpose evolution. Sometimes you want people to go northward, and they are not ready. You won't force them to go northward. But you know what? You can take them northeast, you can take them northwest. And before you know it, you're able to take them northward. You understand? So, but not paying attention to all of those cues, not paying attention to all of those necessary things, you miss out on, getting sustainable result from people. And that's been the driver.
And since we are all going global, how should companies approach digitization?
Yeah. Interesting. No matter what it is, I think one of the errors I'm beginning to see is companies around the world are thinking that digitization is a replacement and not a complementary advantage for globalization. Digitization is never going to be a replacement. I once discussed that, and I think I mentioned that there's a topic I clearly treated and very interesting for me when I talk with young leaders is the rigidity of visibility. The World Wide Web have given us the opportunity to be visible anywhere, anytime in the world. But seriously, the infrastructures that make us visible are rigid. The infrastructures that are behind why we are visible everywhere in the world, they are actually planted somewhere. So when companies begin to think that, okay, they don't need to pay attention to those rigid factors, when they begin to feel that, okay, they don't need to pay attention to those things that need to be somewhere, and they just want to go digital, in no time, we are going to be lost into the thin air. So digitization should be taken not as a substitute, for the core of businesses, what Peter Drucker would call the theory of business, the culture of business. Artificial intelligence should not be taken for emotional intelligence. It gets to a point that everything digital will sublime. Seriously, what will be left to it for a leader to be able to get out of any mess is that thing that is quite tangible. The tangibility are those things that are going to make you to be able to weather the storm. So digitization is interesting, and at every point in time, it should be taken